Superman is a fascist. In fact, all superheroes are fascists. And virtually all superhero movies are ultra-nationalist, right-wing military propaganda. What can Superman teach us about the death of the author? So I'm by no means the first person to question whether or not superheroes are inherently a fascist idea. And in fact, it's something that has even come up within the genre. But the concept of superheroes is incompatible with liberal democracy and democratic ideals. So first of all, we should be specific about what fascism is. Some of the key hallmarks of fascism are ultranationalism, which is something that we see particularly with Superman, for example, fighting for truth, justice, and the American way, but also across the superhero genre. Fascism is also always paired with authoritarianism, a rejection of democracy in favor of strong centralized power. So how does that relate to superheroes? Well, they are participating in vigilante justice. There's no form of democracy here. They are taking matters into their own hands. Quite literally, they have powers. And therefore, because they have the power, they get to decide what is right or wrong. And then they enforce those standards through the third hallmark of fascism, which is militarism and violence. Fascism also always has a cult of leader and a certain amount of anti-intellectualism, something that does also tend to be present in comic book stories, but not always. Now, I know someone's getting ready to go off on me right now to talk about Superman or superheroes' long history of fighting fascists, or the creation of Superman and how, because of who created him, there's no way Superman could be a fascist. But he is one. And that's because of something that Roland Barthes called the death of the author, which basically means that a work's meaning is not determined by the author's intent. It's not determined by the author's biography. It's determined by the work and how the work exists in the real world. And at the end of the day, what these stories are doing, what they're engaging in, actually aligns much more closely to the idea of the Übermensch, a word that the Nazis co-opted from Nietzsche that literally means Superman, which they used to talk about a master race. He is a physically stronger, superior being telling humans how to live and then physically enforcing it with his brute strength. And that sucks.